41 years ago, it was the commitment, the dedication, and the love of India's Prime Minister then, Srimati Indira Gandhi, that led to the emergence, the formation of the full-fledged state of Meghalaya as a state in the Indian Union. Meghalaya means the abode of the clouds. But today, these clouds have taken on a different meaning. Today, the clouds are of not rain-bearing clouds, but these clouds are of corruption, these clouds are of unemployment, power cuts, these clouds are of a damage to the independent identity of the people of Meghalaya. And finally, these are the clouds of political puppetry, which I will explain to you a little later. In the last 5 years, we have had a government of the MDA, by the MDA, for the MDA. This is the Money Development Alliance. The alliance partners have taken a temporary divorce for the purpose of elections and are claiming to be fighting as independent parties. But let nobody be fooled. The NPP, the UDP, and the BJP are all part and parcel of the same package. So the first fight that the Congress is fighting in this election is a fight against corruption. The extraordinary coal scam, the continuation of the inhuman practice of right money. I was the environment minister, and in many ways, I don't like to boast about what I did, but I am father of the NGT. I was the minister who piloted the NGT bill in Parliament and established the National Green Tribunal in April 2010. And it's extraordinary how the orders of the National Green Tribunal have been flouted in pursuit of private gains, private profits, in a most inhuman and degrading manner. Even COVID has not been spared. We have had huge corruption in this state as the COVID pandemic reached. So this election is for ridding Meghalaya of the virus of corruption. Second, I mentioned to you unemployment, power cuts, the extraordinary spread of the use of drugs amongst the youth of the state. Meghalaya is a state blessed with extraordinarily rich natural and human resources. But in the absence of productive jobs, in the absence of infrastructure, particularly power, youth will not be able to find avenues for fulfilling their full potential. So, the second point is that these are elections to fight against the unemployment that we see, the power cuts that have become part of daily life, and the growth of a drug culture. Thirdly, when Indira Gandhi moved the bill in Parliament to establish the independent state of Meghalaya, Meghalaya was given Schedule 6 status in the Indian Constitution. And for 50 years, almost 45 years, the Congress moved heaven and earth to respect the letter and spirit of Schedule 6 of the Constitution. knowing the special needs of the people of Meghalaya, the tribal nature of Meghalaya, the religious and ethnic diversity of Meghalaya. But that is under threat today. The identity of Meghalaya, the ethnic identity, the religious identity, the social identity, the linguistic identity is all under threat because in the name of unity, the BJP and its allies propagate uniformity. It is only the Congress party that believes not just unity in diversity, but unity through diversity. If you strengthen diversity, you strengthen unity. If you weaken diversity, you weaken unity. The BJP wants uniformity. The Congress wants unity through diversity. And finally, the fourth cloud, political puppets. There is one puppet master. He sits in Delhi. And there are puppets in different states. Here there is one puppet called the NPP. There is another puppet called the UDP. And now there is a new third puppet that has come into Meghalaya politics. JMC, not TMC, JMC. Jonas Mukul Party, JMC. Be under no illusion. These are all part of the BJP's game plan. NPP is BJP's A team here, UDP is BJP's B team here, TMC or JLP is BJP's C team here, and BJP is the D team here. Congress is fighting a three-party or four-party alliance led by the BJP. BJP may not have electoral presence, but it has other presence. And you know what I mean. In spite of demonetization, there is a lot of monetization that takes place, thanks to the BJP. So the Congress party is fighting these clouds, the cloud of corruption, the cloud of unemployment, the cloud of the destruction of Meghalaya's identity, and finally, the cloud of a unholy alliance, BJP, NPP, UDP, TMC, who are all claiming to fight independently now, but mark my words, at the first opportunity, they will jump into bed together. So for the Congress, this is a watershed election. And I will give you only two indicators of what a transformational election this is for the Congress. Never before in any state of India, and I venture to say this because I am familiar with national politics, 47 out of 60 candidates are below the age of 45. It's never happened before in any state. It's happened in Meghalaya. 47 out of 60 candidates are below the age of 45. This is bringing youth to the fore. One advantage of the Judasas leaving our party is that they create vacancies. And we have youngsters for the first time. And secondly, 10 out of 60 are women. No other political party in Meghalaya has given women such a heavy representation. This is a matriarchal society. This is a society in which women play a very important social and economic role and a cultural role. That is not reflected in its politics. But we are making a beginning. 10 out of 60, that is almost 17% of our candidates are women. No other political party can claim this. So it is a watershed election for the Congress party. Of course, we recognize that there are many people who have betrayed the Congress. Good riddance. Their commitment to the values of the Congress and its ideology obviously is not very strong. Obviously, ED, CBI, income tax has come knocking on their doors. The key issue in this election is, will Meghalaya's identity survive the way it has survived for so long? That is the key issue. Meghalaya is part of the Indian Union, is part of the Indian mainstream. Youth of Meghalaya are earning a name for themselves all over the country. But there is a unique and distinctive identity to the society of Meghalaya that only the Congress can protect. On the one side, you have a set of parties who will dictate what the identity of Meghalaya is from Nagpur or from Delhi. Or you will have another political party which will dictate what is good from Meghalaya from Kolkata. It is only the Congress party which will dictate from Shillong, from Meghalaya. Not only dictate, it will determine in this state. Now, we have released a manifesto. This manifesto has 14 big promises to be fulfilled over the next 5 years. Every year, we will present a report to the people of Meghalaya, giving a report card on the status of implementation of each of the promises that we have made. We have made 5 big commitments that come out of these promises, which was released day before yesterday. The first commitment being empowering women, 3,000 rupees per month to every single mother, BPL single mothers, and there are 41% of women in Meghalaya are single women. Mean women who are separated or living singly. 41%. It's a large, very large number. Second, we have promised a job to every household. Third, we have promised a power cut free Meghalaya. I mentioned that to you. Fourth, corruption free Meghalaya. Most important, we will have a law against corruption. We will implement this law. We will have an ombudsman. We will have strong anti-corruption machinery. And whatever the orders passed by legal authorities, like the National Green Tribunal, will be implemented fully. And fifth, we have promised a drug-free Meghalaya. These 5 promises come out of these 14 promises contained in our manifesto. As I said, manifesto is a very sacred document to us. We will have an annual report to the people of the implementation of this manifesto, and we will hold ourselves accountable to the people of Meghalaya for this manifesto. Finally, let me say a few words about the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which, as you know, started on the 7th of September and ended on the 30th of January. It was a 4,000-kilometer long yatra from Kanyakumari in the south, deep south, and ended in Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. It was a south to north yatra. And it was a yatra to unite Indians. In this atmosphere, the Indians are being divided on the basis of religion, caste, language, ethnicity, food, dress. So this yatra was a yatra to bring people together. It was a voice against economic inequality. It was a voice against social polarization, and it is a voice against political dictatorship. We today have an undeclared emergency in our country. One man determines who will speak, what will be spoken, what will be done, what is good, what is not good. This is completely against what our Constitution teaches. Our Bharat Jodo Yatra is a celebration of India's diversity. Because as I said, only if we celebrate our diversity will we strengthen our unity. So this Bharat Jodo Yatra was a very successful yatra. We are now thinking of a west to east yatra, the details of which are still being worked out. This was a south to north yatra. A similar west to east yatra is being contemplated. Because we believe that India's greatest threat today comes from the policies of the Prime Minister, from the BJP, of the RSS, which divides Indian society, which does not unite Indian society. So I congratulate my colleagues in the Meghalaya Congress, and we are approaching these elections with new energy, with new enthusiasm, and I believe that the people of Meghalaya will see a new spirit of the Congress and will vote on the 27th of this month for change, a vote against the clouds of corruption, a vote against the cloud of unemployment, a vote against the forces who want to deny Meghalaya's 6th schedule in letter and spirit, and a vote against political parties which will be controlled ultimately by one national party called the BJP, which is detrimental to the interests of societies like Meghalaya. Thank you. I'll take any questions you have later.
Now I request the press to have the questions, if any.
Thank you.
We will go one by one, and the first one was raised from.
You get a mic also.
There are mics on the table. There are mics on the table, please.
I have all the time in the world. Let's go with that.
You may ask him.
I have one question. Is the mic on?
Yes.
On 3rd July 2019, the Supreme Court has lifted the ban on coal mining in Meghalaya. But there was a little effort on the part of the government to ensure scientific coal mining, started in Meghalaya. So the Congress, how will it ensure that scientific mining in Meghalaya starts and the livelihood of the people depending on coal mining restored?
Madam, mining is an economic activity which creates employment. Let's accept this reality. But mining has to be done in an environmentally responsible manner. Mining has to be done in a humanitarian manner. And mining has to be done according to the laws of the land. I have been Environment Minister, and before that, as Commerce Minister, I have spent considerable amounts of time in Doki and all these places where coal mining takes place. I have seen initially the way coal mining was done. Later on, how it degenerated into that coal mining. I can assure you that the Congress Party will follow the laws which are there for environmentally responsible and humanitarian mining. A blanket ban on mining creates adverse consequences for employment. I, both as Environment Minister and as Minister for Power and Commerce and other ministers, I have always held this view that we must, whatever we do, whether it's mining, whether it is building, whether it is highways, whether it's roads, whether it's any infrastructure, we need infrastructure, we need jobs, but it cannot be at the cost of the environment. Meghalaya is an environmentally fragile area. We have to be extra careful in places like, you have seen what happened in Jairam, in Uttarakhand. So we have to be extra careful in these states, hilly states particularly. And I can assure you that the Congress party will accord the highest priority to environmentally sound, environmentally sustainable economic development, which includes mining and other infrastructure projects.
Well, political pundits suggest that no single party is getting majority in this election. If this is the case, what will be the mind of Congress? Will it be open for alliance with any political party in the state?
Madam, we are fighting these elections to win on our own strength. We are fighting for major parties who claim to be independent, but as I said, they have taken a temporary divorce. They will get together at the first opportunity. We are fighting to win on our own strength. I do not even contemplate what is going to happen when the results come out. We are confident that the people of Meghalaya will give a mandate to the Congress party. It's a tried and trusted party. It's an experienced party. It's a party that respects the sentiments of the people of Meghalaya. And it's a party for which decisions will not be taken in Kolkata or New Delhi or Nagpur, but decisions will be taken in Shillong by leaders of Meghalaya, in consultation, of course, with other people, because the Congress is also a national party. So I'm not even thinking of what is going to happen. We are fighting to win on our own strength. And I believe that the fact that 47 out of 60 candidates are below the age of 45, I believe that the fact that 10 out of 60 candidates are women, large number of our candidates are professionals, I think this will give confidence to the people of Meghalaya that this Congress means business. And this is not Judases may come and Judases may go, but the Congress will remain strong. Many people have written the obituary of the Congress in the last couple of weeks. It's become a favorite pastime, writing the obituary of the Congress. But the Congress has a remarkable capacity for surprising all obituary writers around.
There are a lot of free things offered. There are a lot of free things offered in your manifesto. I am loud enough. Yeah. So there are a lot of free things offered in the manifesto, and Congress is also cashed out. So how do you get the money to implement all this?
The financial commitments made in our manifesto, these commitments have been made keeping in mind the financial requirements for these promises to be implemented. It is true that states like Meghalaya depend quite heavily on central assistance for their development expenditure. It's certainly true. But I think, frankly, that a situation has come when, if you're a responsible and responsive political party, you would have to take the steps that have been identified in our manifesto, particularly as far as relief for single women is concerned, particularly as relief for households who do not have a single job earner is concerned. These are, I agree with you, these are financially, they will require a lot of financial commitments. But these are commitments that we will fulfill. These are not paper commitments. These are commitments that we have fulfilled. Let me tell you, in 2004, when the UPA government came, the Congress-led UPA government came, one of the big commitments we had made in our 2004 manifesto was the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. And the same question was asked, how will you implement the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act? Well, it was implemented. We found the resources. And Mr. Modi, who opposed that act, has now become the greatest champion of this act. In 2009, we promised National Food Security Act. Same question was raised. Where is the money for National Food Security Act? But we found the money for the National Food Security Act. Again, Mr. Modi opposed the National Food Security Act, but now he has become its greatest supporter. So, the question that you are raising is serious, it is legitimate. But I believe that if the government is serious, we can find the resources to fulfill these financial requirements. Incidentally, this manifesto is not for 1 month, it's not for 1 year. It's a 5-year manifesto. These 14 promises are to be implemented over a 5-year period. We are seeking a mandate for 5 years. And I am confident that we will be able to get these resources. And I am also confident that we will ultimately, a central government, any government, whichever the government is, we hope that there will be a double-engine government in 2024. Congress government here and a Congress-led government in Delhi. And that would be a truly double-engine government. But even assume that next year, for 1 year, we'll have to deal with a BJP government in the center. I'm sure if the people of Meghalaya are demanding these promises, no government can afford to be insensitive to these demands.
Sir, for long the Congress have been in power. For long the Congress have been in power, and during elections you have been releasing manifesto from year to year during the elections, but the Congress has failed to deliver it. What is your take on it? Most of the issues...
Congress has been in power, yes, over the last 51 years that Meghalaya has had a full-fledged statehood. Congress has been in power for much of the time, no doubt about it. But I would turn the question around and tell you that if you compare where Meghalaya was 51 years ago, and you see today's Meghalaya, you see the connectivity in Meghalaya, the infrastructure in Meghalaya, the institutions that have come up in Meghalaya. I mean, I have been personally associated with a number of institutions that have come up in Meghalaya. NIGRIMS is a good example. The IIM is another example. These are not come in after 2014. These were all established much before 2014. So the Congress has made many commitments which it has fulfilled. There are much more to be done. No doubt, much more to be done. There are new challenges, particularly the challenge of environment. Let me give you another example. When I was Commerce Minister, I spent 5 days in Meghalaya for giving new status to the curcumin content of turmeric. This is the unique product of Meghalaya, the curcumin content of turmeric. I don't have to tell you. But others in India had to be educated that haldi coming from Meghalaya has got special value. And from 2000, I came here in 2006 as Commerce Minister, and we started a program for cultivation of haldi in the West Jatiya Hills. And now this has become a very major economic activity in Meghalaya. Now this is not after 2014. This started much before 2014. So, it's easy to say the Congress has not done this, Congress has not done that, because the Congress has been in power for the maximum amount of time. But please also look at the glass which has been filled. Look at the institutions that have been created. Look at the infrastructure that has been built. And most importantly, I would request you, most important contribution of the Congress to Meghalaya is to preserve and protect the identity of Meghalaya. That is the single most important contribution of the Congress Party. Schedule 6 of the Constitution. It is very easy to say Meghalaya should be part of the Indian mainstream without recognizing the ethnic, religious, linguistic, cultural diversity of Meghalaya. It is only the Congress Party that has protected that identity. And that is under threat today.
I have a question.
Let's go through one round.
I have a question in the back.
Let's go through one round and come back to you.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
I don't follow one journalist, one question model. not one nation, one tax.
Would you agree?
Sir,
Would you-
just a minute. We have on most of the regional parties here in Meghalaya and even the local parties. They are supporting BJP-led alliances with the belief that it's very difficult for the Congress to form the government at the center. So what's your take on that? And this is the reason they are supporting BJP-led alliances.
I can only tell you that in 2004, nobody gave the Congress a chance, and we formed the government. In 2009, nobody gave us a chance. We came back with an increased majority. So, you know, people are entitled to their opinions. And I also told you that, you know, when people leave you after getting the full benefits of being in the Congress party, and after Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, I think the one person who has benefited most from the Congress party is Mr. Mughal Sarma. Now, if people who have benefited from the Congress party decide to give it a kick in pursuit of their personal ambitions, I can't help it. It's their choice that they have made. But I can tell you that repeatedly the Congress party has been written off, and repeatedly the Congress party has bounced back. So I am confident that we are going to these elections with a new spirit. The Bharat Jodo Yatra has created a completely different narrative of the Congress all over India. And I can tell you, not in Meghalaya, but in other states, I can tell you political parties who would not talk to me in Parliament today are coming to asking me, when can they come and meet me to discuss Indian politics, not 2024, but discuss political developments. So yes, the BJP is spending a lot of money. The BJP also has more than money. The most powerful instruments in the hands of the BJP, the Trishul of the BJP, ED, CBI, income tax. These three instruments they have, which they use. The Congress never used against its political opponents. Never. But the BJP will not hesitate for 1 minute to use these three instruments. So naturally, all these small political parties are vulnerable, and they, go and join. They are saying that. But let's see. We are hoping that the people of Meghalaya will give these Judas's the answer that they deserve.